who sees? Who cares? If something happens, would I be upset about it? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Would I like to see, even though I don't know this guy, and would it upset me for her to get together with Nick as a boyfriend or something? Absolutely not. I think he's a fucking great guy. I think he's a straight shooter. He told me flat out yesterday, if it stays the same, you know that I'm voting to keep Danielle in. And I'm like, of course, I wouldn't expect anything different. And he goes, I know you know that, but I wanted to tell you. He goes, I'm not going to, bullshit you or anything else. And I'm like, I appreciate that, And I went up to him and asked him with the veto competition, if I pull your name out or if I pull house guests out, would you use the veto on Danielle?
He said no.
He said no. And I'm like, cool, I just wanted to know. He could have lied. Why?
Yeah.
Nobody in this house is going to put themselves out for anybody else right now. It's way too early in the game.
The only two people that
Nobody's
could have won
really
was you and
helping
Danielle.
anybody else.
Yeah, it would be silly for anyone to.
So Carol's the first one that brought that up. She goes, you and Danielle have an alliance.
No, because you were the two nominated.
No, well,
you're the only two that would use it.
I'm talking about before. Carol she said, you and Danielle have an alliance. And I said, how can you even say that? We said, the most that we've talked in this house was the first 5 minutes when we went in there and she started crying. And it was very personal at that time.
Right.
Now, let me finish this first. I said, no, because I don't even talk to her. And she says, well, let me change that. You have a one-sided alliance. Because you would never make a move against her. You'd never lie or backstab her, this or that. And I go, well, I don't know if that, how can you say it's an alliance? I go, I wouldn't make a move against her, but if, like this week, if she was to go, and even if I wasn't up on the block, would I stop it from happening? How could I stop it from happening?
Yeah, you can.
But at least my hand's blood free, and let me tell you, it would make my game a hell of a lot easier. Would I be sad to see her go? The first week I asked Cal, please do me a favor. I will never ask you for anything again. I haven't seen my daughter in 2 years. And I want a little bit more time just to be around each other.
Yeah, see if what works out.
It's like a beginning to fixing this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, I doubt Kel would have put her up anyway, but she didn't. And but we can't talk about anything personal in this house, because if we were to go and talk about anything personal, it's not going to be taken as anything personal. It's going to be taken as, oh, they're together. Oh, they're talking strategy, which is fucking bullshit. I haven't talked to my daughter in 2 fucking years. You don't think that there's like
other things to talk about?
Things that I want to talk to her about?
Yeah, obviously. There's anyone that we knew before this, there's other things to talk about.
But I can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
No, and she wouldn't take the risk take the risk either. So, no. And anything on a personal level is going to be, and you know what? She said it day one. She goes, in this house, we'll be cordial. In this house, we'll be trying not to make people feel uncomfortable. But what's going on between us isn't going to be dealt with until we're outside of this house, if it's dealt with at all. And she was very honest, very upfront, and it is what it is. I'm just hoping that this is baby steps in order to open the door for at least some fucking kind of communication with my own daughter. And I was trying to make a point, and upstairs of, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I got the hardest game in this goddamn place.
No,
and
definitely.
Like,
I don't know who's
you didn't have to do it. You could have left.
Well,
but I worked my fucking ass off to get in here. And what? I'm just going to turn around and go, well, you know what? Fuck this twist. Fuck you, Julie. I'm out of here.
No one would. Like, everyone gave up everyone gave up technically 4 months of their life, I would say, or, you know what I mean? Maybe even longer,
Yeah,
for
maybe my job.
There was a like, who knows? And there's a
when I get home, my electricity's going to be turned off, my gas is going to be turned off, my phone's going to be turned off. I told my mom to pay my rent and to pay my car payment while I was gone, and I would catch up with everything when I got back.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could lose my daughter, and losing the game and losing my daughter, I'm in the biggest catch-22 of anybody in this motherfucking house.
Which is honestly, like, I know you're never going to believe me, but I know that you wanted to do time, but it didn't seem like any time would have helped, because really you guys can't talk, because, like you just said, Like, that was the only way that I thought that you would be able to have a relationship with your daughter outside of it.
Don't make it to be like you're doing me a favor because you put Danielle up, because with her gone, the attention, I kind of feel like you feel that you would get more attention from Nick and that you get more attention from the guys in this house.
I get way too much attention, to be quite honest.
Attention.
No, I know. I don't need any more. I'm not nervous about it.
I'll be cordial with you. Don't expect me to be super nice with you. You know how I feel about you, and I don't see you changing. The game's the game. I'm not going to make other people feel uncomfortable. I'm not going to tell you to fuck off. I'm not going to call you a bitch. I'm not going to make shitty comments, which was pretty shitty. You know, if I get the chance to step on her throat and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're going to get that ass on, like, later.
Well, I was fucking pissed.
I know. Well,
and if anybody, it wasn't even about me and Danielle. It's just about the way that you've been. And
well, other people have told me the thing about myself and the thing about being superficial, and I totally am taking that to heart, and I would love to change my life.
You haven't changed anything.
Well, it was today, but
since you've been to the HOH, you've done nothing but fucking bury yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. And I don't
well, it was
think
just today. It's just today, and like, if it changes me for the house, if it changes me for my outside life, like, that's awesome. Like, I hope to be a better person. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but if that's something that I never noticed about myself and now I can, that's great. Like, I'd love to help myself.
You're very young, and you're very self-involved, and you haven't really experienced a whole lot of highs and lows in your life yet. You might be writing this Vanna White, you know, blah, 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 whatever the hell it is coming from Arizona.
I wish you could talk, like, honestly, like, when I was growing up, I ran away from home when I was 15. Like, I lived for myself. Like, I
lived in my car at 16, so you...
Yeah, I didn't even have a car to live in. I lived at a friend's house. I lived at people's houses. Like, I haven't always been this. Like, I've definitely...
One of the things that I said about
you
from the beginning was, it's an overcompensation for insecurity.
Probably.
And the way that I've worked in bars for as long as you've been alive. Okay?
Yeah.
And I've seen tens of thousands of girls like you.
I like not to think that, because I really do think that I'm different, but go on.
You're different in some ways, but you're stereotypical in others. And I know that I'm different in some ways, and I'm very stereotypical in others.
Okay, so we'll go with that.
And I see that a lot of these girls that are cute, that have the rockin' bodies, and that's all that they have, because everything else, they get the attention because of that, and they get the attitude, and they just start treating people like shit, which is exactly what you've done in here. And your body and how cute you think you are isn't going very far, because you turned off a lot of people. I'll make jokes, and even the people that you think are like all flirty with you,
well, I know
it's
jokes.
Shit, they're the first ones that are laughing.
Yeah.
And you haven't shown anyone you. You haven't shown anyone anything but wanting attention. You haven't shown anybody any kind of pain that it hurts what they say, the things that they say. I was the last motherfucker, and I guarantee all these motherfuckers and the people behind the scenes were the last ones to think that I would be in the DR crying my fucking eyes out. And within 2 days, I was a fucking mess. And there have been 2 times where, over the speakers, everybody's asleep. Dick, are you okay? Are you sure? We can get somebody for you to talk to. I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm like, I just got to work this shit out. And I just kind of lost it again, and I went into the DR for I don't even know how long, and I'm like, this is for, don't talk about your DR. This is for me. This isn't for you. Fuck you guys. I know you're going to use it, have fun with it, but this is for me. I got to get this shit out. And I know that I was like the last one that anybody, the hard-looking, blah, 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 shit-talking, fuck this, fuck that guy is in there a goddamn mess. And